Hello, I'm here with Grind. Happy South by Southwest. How we doing?
Happy South by.
Happy South by. I've seen Grind. I loved it. I'm so excited to talk about it. I want to start with the MLM short, right? So was that the first? Okay, can you talk about how that turned into what we're seeing today?
Yeah, we shot MLM about a year before we shot the rest of the movie. This is a truly indie DIY project. We shot most of MLM at Ed's house in his actual home that he lives in, and his girlfriend was really nice about it, which is cool. But before we shot it, we had planned on making the full feature, and we kind of worked out all of the stories before we went into production, but it just took us a while to raise the money and figure out the rest of the movie.
Yes, it certainly did.
Yes.
And
that is what happened.
that's
Correct.
That's how it goes. So tell me a little bit about what the premise is. When I'm watching it, I mean, anyone who's worked a bad job, had a bad boss, and then there's some things in here that feel like parallels to real world places or things that we know. So just talk about kind of what the premise is.
It's the corporate overlords taking over our world and our life.
Thank you, Barbara.
Making us into little peons for the greater good of themselves.
Also correct.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
So Brea and Ed, you directed two separate segments of how did you divide and conquer?
We arm wrestled.
Hell yeah.
And I'm really strong, so I won. No, I directed MLM, and then we did the next three segments later, and I did delivery, he did content moderation and union meeting, and I think we just decided by being like, we wrote it all together, and we kind of just decided by being like, I'll do this one.
Yeah, and there was no way you were ever going to do content.
No way, that was, Ed was really...
Brea's never seen a horrifying video in her life.
In fact, there were actually videos in there that I was like, that's too scary, you can't put it in there. Because there's a lot of really scary, horrifying videos in there, and there were things I had to nix. It was too horrifying for me.
Yeah.
Ed, I'm concerned about your brain.
Oh, yeah. And I've barely seen them, but I've seen many more than Brea. There were some temp videos that were too disturbing for her.
I couldn't handle it.
Yes.
But Chris's character had to knock down 6 million of them.
6 million of these
6
things.
million.
206.25.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Ed's acting all innocent, but he used his baby in one of them. So like,
Oh, yeah. And she was only 9 days old. I did.
yeah.
Oh, that's your
Just her with a
baby.
hammer, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the most horrifying scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Is
And
his
usually that gets a
baby.
big laugh, but last
He
night
didn't
it
mutilate her too much.
She's fine. She's fine.
Dark minds. And then Chelsea, you talk about what you did in the film.
Yeah, I produced the film and also directed the intro and the outro. I felt like I was the tiebreaker of like who should handle the intro and the outro, which I did feel a lot of pressure doing that because the intro brings you, the audience, into the world, and then the outro is what you leave the audience with. So I definitely felt a lot of pressure there, and I'm so thankful that they trusted me with that. And then producing an indie film in Los Angeles is a huge challenge, and we did do it together. But it was such a joy. It was very fulfilling creatively for me to work on this movie.
The bookends. I love it.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing cast here. Barbara, I want to start with you. You are a freaking legend. So tell me, what was it about this film that you just had to do? What was it?
Well, first of all, I mean, it was Brea. You know, she's my good friend, and she told me about MLM. And initially, I don't know if she told me that it was going to be an anthology, but she said, we're doing a short, and I need you to play this part. And I was like, okay, sure. I said yes, I'm sure, before I even read it, because I trust her. And then she said that it was based on a real woman. There's a documentary about this woman that owns a legging company, and did you see it?
I've seen
Lula Rich or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this woman is a horrible person, and I want to play her.
She's watching this. Yeah.
She doesn't know that she's horrible, but does any villain know they're horrible? They don't think they are, right? And I normally play very nice characters, and as I've gotten older and crotchety, now I'm getting to play, the compromised older women roles, and I really welcome that.
You're in your iconic villain era.
Yeah. give me more villains. And also working with these guys and, you know, Rob being, you know, in a comedy god, I was like, that's that. So when they did the other segments and they said I was going to work with Rob, I was like, I really want to be funny. So maybe if I work with Rob, something will rub off, because he's amazing and you're amazing. And, you know, Brea's very funny too. And, you know, as horrible as the movie exposes the corporate America and, you know, these institutions that are just bleeding us dry and taking more and more and more from us, it has a lot of humor to that, because we have to laugh about our circumstances, don't we? So anyway, it was a good mix, I think, of horror and satire together. And I think they came up with a great foundation, a very thinking kind of movie, with all of its trappings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud several times, yes. And Rob, you are a comedy genius, but you do play a lot of dickheads.
Yeah, my mom's watching, so that's yeah. No, I really like to play assholes, and that's how I pay my rent. And there's a lot of assholes out there, and they need to be made fun of. Like all these terrible people, who's gonna play them if it's not us? You know,
Service.
Big service.
we're helping people, but yeah, I mean, like this is just for me, this is just like a super fun thing. When I heard Barbara was doing it, I was like, oh my god, she's like a legend. I really wanted to do it because of her too, and yeah, it's also just like it's fun to do a movie that actually does say something in like a cool, smart way, and it's not like heavy-handed. It's like totally entertaining and exciting and horrifying. But it really does like say a lot of really important stuff about where we are as like workers right now and like who's really running shit. So yeah, it's really fun to do a movie like that.
Right. Barbara, you mentioned you want the comedy to rub off on you. You're a legend. You have 5 Lifetime Achievement Awards. Is there like, do you want to do like more comedy? Is there something that you haven't done that you want to tap into?
I mean, what I've said is that I want to be the Betty White of horror. So take that as you will. You know, I want to last in this business, and, you know, I want to play all the hag horror roles and also just get old on screen. You know, and yes, I think I can allow myself maybe to be funny now, because you get so precious about your work, you know, especially when I was younger I did, and I didn't do a lot of improv or comedy stuff, so my stuff was very serious. I had to scream and cry and run away and be afraid for my life. And now, fuck it, if I die, whatever. We all gotta go sometime.
And one of my favorite dynamics is actually when you two are having your interviews and your meetings. It's like cracking me up, and it's so dark. So just talk to me a little bit about those moments where there's room for any kind of improvisations or...
Yeah, tons. Yeah. I mean, my whole job showing up is I was like, oh, keep up with Rob. Like that was, you know. But I mean, Rob didn't do like one take exactly the same, you know. And it was nice. Like we talked about it last night. I hadn't seen it until last night, until the premiere here, and there was so much I forgot we did because of how playful we got to be like on the day. And yeah, it's nice. It's like, I mean, I think good comedy improv, it only comes when there's really strong writing, you know, like the best of it really comes when there's really strong writing to work with. And so it actually gives you so much good foundation and so much good character to go off of. And that was like the nice thing. Like we showed up, we hadn't met, we didn't know each other, and we were just like, this writing's really witty and funny. We're like, yeah, it's cool, man. And then we could just go off, and it was fine.
Super witty is definitely the way. Yeah. All three of you is like, I feel like when I found out I was interviewing you, I was like, oh, I want to ask about this, and this. I'm just curious, when people approach you, like, what is the number one thing they say, quote, or ask you about?
People always ask me to scream. Can you scream? And then I wrote an article many years ago called "Don't Call Me a Scream Queen," because being a horror actress is not just about screaming and running for your life. I mean, we have to do a lot of the heavy lifting and ground it in some reality and humanize characters a lot. And I don't know, you know, who coined that phrase, but I think it was a journalist. Sorry, but
Sorry, we stink.
yeah. And I think, it's a little, that term is a little reductive and doesn't really explain the depth of what our characters and actors go through when they're in a horror movie. I mean, it's a life or death situation. It's real,
What term would you prefer? We can start it. Do you like Final Girl? Do you like?
Yeah, Final Girls is pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Sure, that'll work.
Okay, Final Girl. There we go.
I usually get like, you were so good in Superbad. I was like, that's McLovin. They're like, you're so good. You're so good in Barbarian. I was like, Justin Long. They're like, they're so good in Spectacular Now. It's Miles Teller. So like, I get like generic,
Just confused. Brother.
short, brown-haired white guy.
There's no way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
all
Girl
the
Next
time.
Door.
Yeah, the Girl Next Door. Yeah, it's fun. It's also, there's a season for me. Like, there's seasonal things where I was like, oh, like at Christmas time, suddenly people are like, oh, you're the guy from this, and then and then there's also groups of people, like every frat guy that went to college in like the early 2000s, it's Girl Next Door,
Right.
And then there's like a show I did where it's like, anybody that was a new mom in like 2010, they're like, we love that show. You're like, okay. So like there's like, it just hit little demographics. So that's
Well, you look
generally-
exactly the same. So
Sweet.
it's like when you,
Yeah. Yeah, I've been cryogenically frozen until yesterday. Yeah, the other I have also found I get mostly. I feel like my whole acting career has been mostly defined by like, you've seen something, but it's not absolutely. It has not hit like a certain threshold. So most of the time I get people being like, "Where'd you go to high school?" Like, it's a
yeah.
lot of
that's
that.
like an LA
that.
thing where
That's
I'm
a
like,
big
do
LA
I know
thing.
them or are they an
Yeah,
actor?
exactly.
I did that one
Yeah.
time when I first moved to LA. I saw a guy that I knew I went to high school with, and I was going over to like check in with him, and I got to this is in a restaurant, and it was just a guy from porn. I literally was like, "Oh, sorry.
I know you from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah." Anyway,
This is my mom.
yeah.
Wink and he's like,
Hey, bro.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, good to meet you.
I know stuff about you now.
Sure, I went to high school with them. That's hilarious. Rob, what do you get the most? I have to
think-
say, I have a vocal stim with one of your lines where I say "Mino like he nibbles" all the time.
Yeah. I think I worked that into this movie.
Did say Mino likey.
I
You
didn't-
do say "Mino like."
I
Is that from
don't-
something else?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I
We're offended.
apologize.
Lawsuit
It's
incoming.
really horrible racist line from "I Love You, Man" from like a long time ago, and I threw that out, and then I meant to flag it later, like, oh, I said that in another movie, and I was like, it's fine. It's like just this character is just like a terrible asshole, so I think it's fine that's in the movie. I'm actually best known for a GIF where I'm throwing glitter. It's like a congratulatory happy birthday,
Yes.
whatever. I'm in a blue suit and a mustache, and it's a thing, and it's just like, it'll be on my tombstone. Like, that'll be the thing if we have electronic tombstones. So I'm just like throwing glitter, and I feel like that's what a lot of people.
There's not a lot of happy birthday gifts. Like, so when you search it, that one does
Right,
come
yeah.
up.
What's it from?
It's from Children's Hospital. Yeah.
Oh, which was a great show, by the
Thank
way.
you.
Great show. Thank you so much. Grind is fantastic. Is there anything else that we want to add before I let you go?
No, thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, thank
Having
you.
us.
Yes.
Stay
Thank
tuned
you.
for Grind 2.
Stay tuned for Grind 2. there
Grind
we
2,
go.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo!